Hello, in this video I will be going over a walkthrough or a tutorial of the insanity cube and the edge of insanity. Now, this puzzle, or both these puzzles are the exact same. They solve in the exact same way. But this puzzle is the mass-produced one. This is the edge of insanity, or no, insanity cube, produced by Calvin's puzzle. And then this one is the edge of insanity, printed by Chewy's Custom Stickers, and both of these are designed by David Pitcher. So this is the one that came first, actually, and then the shape mod, the cubic shape mod, came from this at some point. I'm not sure when, but this one's mass-produced and this one is not. So I'm going to be solving these side by side, just so I can show them off. So when you solve this puzzle, or both these puzzles, they both bandage all the time, so it can actually be pretty non-intuitive. I didn't come up with these algorithms. Red KB did, and I'll be putting a link to his channel in the description of this video. So here, let me put this aside for just a sec. So I'll be demonstrating the algorithms on this puzzle, but they can be applied directly to this puzzle, and again, the solve is no different. They are literally the exact same puzzle, or exact same solve. So the notation for this puzzle and is kind of weird. So what I do is I can kind of hold it in any orientation I want. Like I can hold it to where this R move is like very, if this is the F face, then the R move like barely cuts into the F face. So sometimes I hold it like that. Sometimes I hold it like this, where the R move cuts deeper into the F face. It just depends on the algorithm. And so when I do R and then U, so if I were to do one R, I would go until the first available move for the U move. So this would be one R. And then I could do a U move. So that's one R. If I were to do 2R, I would just keep going until the next available move. So right there. So that would be a 2R. And then if I were to do an R from this position, as you can see, I turn it quite far until the next available move. But if I were to turn it one more R, just that much, then that would be the next R move. So each move, until I can do the next available U move, that's basically just one R. Same with a U. If I were to do just a U, I would go until I can do an R move. And then again, that would be one more U. And then to return it, it's one more U. So that's basically the notation of the puzzles. And again, it applies to the edge of insanity. So how do you go about solving this, or both the puzzles? I have my algorithms here. This is just part of a bigger picture for all my algorithms. So the insanity cube is right here, and everything else is just more puzzles. So here are the algorithms I use for the insanity cube. So first what you want to do is you want to get these corners in their position. We don't worry about orientation. Just we need to swap them if they're incorrect. Next, we will solve these smaller edges. And the algorithm for this is actually very easy. You might actually already know it. The third, or you can actually swap these steps. It doesn't matter if you do the next two steps in any order. But what I do is I then rotate the corners. And then I solve the long edges. Although it doesn't matter which one you do first. You can do either of them first, whichever one you want. Okay, so that's how you go about solving it. And I'll go through each algorithm real quick. So the first algorithm, which is to swap the corners if they're misplaced, you want to hold it to where the corners are in this position and this position. So like this. And this is your R move. So the algorithm is okay, there we go. The algorithm is U prime to the first available R move. And then you go R, U. Okay, and then we're going to do a cube rotation. So we go Y, X. So now this rotated center is on the top face. And then you just go R, U, R, U. And that's the algorithm. So you can see the corners swap places, and a ton of other things happened, but since this is the first step, that's okay. So, see, I don't know if it'll actually work again, if it'll fix everything, but we'll see. So if I redo the algorithm, so it's U, R, or U prime R U, Y X, R U, R U. Okay, so it does fix everything. So that's cool. So that's the corner swap algorithm. Next, we are going to swap these smaller edges, which is actually a very common algorithm. So you hold it like this to where you have an edge on the top, on the bottom, on the right face right here, and this side on the L face. So this one to here, this one to here, and this one to here. So, and this is just the sliding U technique. This is a sliding U algorithm. So what you do is U prime, R, U, so come on, L prime, U prime, R prime, U, L. Okay, so green and white went to here, red and yellow went to here, blue and red went to here. And then the corners rotated, but that's okay. That will be the next step. So again, it's just the sliding U technique, which is a very common algorithm in the world of puzzling. And then one more. Okay, so that's the small edges. Next up, we will rotate the corners. And so we do this algorithm by holding it in the same position that we did when we swapped the corners. So the corner in this position and this position. So what you want to do is we go U prime, R, U prime, and then we do R, U, R, U, R prime, no, sorry, R, u prime r. Okay, I'll go through that again. I flubbed that like crazy, but it's kind of a weird algorithm when you do it. But it rotated the corners, and the interesting thing about this algorithm is that it actually messes up the edges. Even though we already solved them, this corner rotating algorithm actually does come after this. Because the way the rotation of corners work, and with how many edges are swapped, it'll eventually sync back up if you keep doing that rotating algorithm. So I'll do it again real quick. So it's u prime r u prime r u r u r, and then match that up with a u, and then r. So again, so now all the edges are fixed, but the corners are still rotated incorrectly. But if we keep doing that over and over again, eventually the edges will sync up with the corners being rotated correctly. So for now, I'll just leave it like this, and we'll move on to the next algorithm, the final algorithm, which will swap these long edges. So this one, it goes like this. You want to hold it to where you have a long edge right here. So this one will come back here. This one comes here, and this one comes here. So we do R, U, R prime, and then we're going to do a cube rotation. So we're going to go Y prime, Z. So now this edge is right here. This is the edge we started with. That was right here. So now it's right here after the cube rotation. So after that, we do R, just a very small r. So we can do a U, a very big U, R prime, U, and then do that again. R, U, R prime, U, and then finish it off with R. Okay, so now the interesting thing about this algorithm is that you can actually use it to flip two edges, because you can get that situation where you have two of the long edges flipped. So if you have two edges flipped, what you want to do is you want to pay attention to what was right here. So the red and white piece, it came over here. So we need to do that algorithm again to put it immediately back into this position but flipped. So if we know this one goes here, this one goes here, and this one goes here, if we hold it like this, to where the red and white is right here, it will come into this position. And just to make sure, when we do that, you can see it is indeed flipped. So let's do that algorithm again from this position, and we'll get to the flipped edge. And I'll go through again what to do if you get the flipped edges. So what you do, R, U, R prime, and then do a cube rotation, like that. R, U, R prime, U, R, U prime, R, U, R prime. Okay? So as you can see, we have two edges that are flipped. So let's go through that one more time. So let's say we're solving it and we get to this position where we have the edges flipped. So what you want to do is just pay attention to this one. Let's do the algorithm. R, U, R prime, cube rotation, R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, R prime. Okay, so we were looking at the red and white piece, which is now right here. So now we're going to do it, the algorithm again, which will get this piece in immediately. So if we do it from this position, we know this one goes here. Wait, no, we do it from this position, because this one goes here. And just to make sure, as you can see, red and white is indeed flipped, or it's correctly positioned now. Okay, so it's right here, and then it's going to come into here immediately. So if we do the algorithm, R, U, R prime, cube rotation, R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, R prime. And that solves it. Okay? So that is quite a lot to take in, actually. And this puzzle is actually quite confusing. If you're scrambling it and solving it for the first time, it can actually be quite the mind bender. So if you struggle at first, don't worry. It is a bit challenging at first. Even still, like, I still kind of struggle with it. I've had to do a few takes already when filming this. But the good thing about this puzzle is if you want to cheat, you can easily just take the puzzle apart. Like, it's actually very easy to just take apart and put back together. So that's that. So now, to actually scramble these puzzles, you really need to get a good scramble, you need to do all those algorithms to swap around the pieces and then just start doing random moves to fully bandage it. So really, when you're scrambling it, you're kind of in a way solving it because you're doing the exact same algorithms. So let's just begin with the long edges. So R, U, R prime, R, U, R, U, R, U, R prime, U, R prime. Okay, so we scrambled the long edges. Let's go ahead and scramble the small edges. U, R, U prime, L, U, R prime, U, L. And let's go ahead and do this one. R, U, or U, R, U prime, R, U, L, U prime, R prime, U, L. Okay. So that'll be good for now. So now we can just do random moves to fully bandage it. And you'll quickly find that you become quite heavily blocked. And it might not look like you got a good scramble, but that's just the way these puzzles are. Like, sometimes it can be quite difficult to get a really good scramble. You can only scramble it so much. Like, there are still some pieces that they're like huge chunks of pieces that are still solved. Okay, so that'll be good for now. Again, it can only get so scrambled, even though it might not look like it's very scrambled. So that'll be good for now. So now, finally bringing out the edge of insanity. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So again, notation might be a little bit weird. So again, this could be a U move. This could be an R move. An L move. So I'll demonstrate all those algorithms on this puzzle. So we'll start off with the large edge swap. So let's see. You hold it like this. Yeah, notation is actually quite weird with this puzzle. It's a lot different than this one. So the edge swap, hold it with the edge in this position. This one will come here, this one here, and this one here. So R, U, R prime, cube rotation. So right here, R, U, R prime, U, R, U prime, R prime, U, R. Okay, so that swaps it. And we'll do the small edge swap. So let's see. So we can hold it like this. This one comes here, this one comes here, and this one comes here. U prime R, U L prime, U prime R prime, U L. Okay. And then, see, the corners already got rotated because that augular, or it got rotated at some point. So then we can just do random movements. Let's see, actually, let's do it this way. Let's see. It seems like this puzzle likes to bandage more than the insanity cube. These puzzles have very strange properties. I can't really explain them, but that'll do for now. So, we have the scrambled edge of insanity and insanity cube. So now, let's solve them. So the first step is to get them back into their native shape. So I'll actually start by doing the insanity cube. So when you go about like fixing or putting bandaged puzzles back into their native shape, like most of the time there's no real strategy. It's just kind of intuition. You just kind of find where pieces go and see how they fit. So what I can do is like these centers, these like central pieces, all they do is rotate. They don't actually move around. So I can actually line them up and I can get started from there. I can kind of use those as reference points. So I just lined those centers up and it's already looking pretty good. So again, there's no real strategy here. It's just kind of move things around. Okay, there we go. So again, there's no real strategy to that. It's just kind of move things around and put things into places where you think they might go. So that one actually went pretty smoothly. Sometimes it can take a bit longer, but I got lucky with that one. So for the edge of insanity, same thing with the centers, which are these pieces right here. We can just line them up. So those three are good. And then okay, so all the centers are lined up. But these two need to swap. So I'm just kind of moving things around, seeing if they can fit into any place. Let's see. Maybe if I come up here. No. Again, I can't really give any sort of method of attack. It's just kind of fiddle around with it, and eventually it'll go. Just give it enough time. See, I have a situation where an edge and a corner need to flip. I don't really know exactly how to get out of that. Sometimes it can actually be beneficial to, if you get really stuck, it might just be beneficial to just start doing random movements. Just to kind of re-scramble it, I guess. And then that actually might put you in a better situation where you can just easily get it solved. So let's see, we have all the centers lined up. We still have a corner and an edge flipped. If I remember correctly, a corner and an edge flipped is pretty much like the worst situation you can be in. Let's see. Let's see, I'm blocked somewhere. Okay, so the centers are, nope. No, still in the same position. Wow, okay. So that took way too long. So again, unfortunately, I don't know exactly the best way to go about doing that. Again, all I was doing was just kind of fiddling around with it and just trying different things, seeing where different things go. But yeah. Apparently, if you get an edge and a corner flipped, then that can lead to problems. Again, I don't. It's unfortunate that I don't really have a good strategy other than just play around with it. But I mean, yeah. As you can see, this one took like 30 seconds. This one took, I don't even know how long. So that's, yeah, that's a thing. So again, if you're stuck, just keep playing around with it. It can be frustrating, but give it time and it will eventually go. So just make sure all the centers are aligned. I guess this one, since this puzzle is more common, just make sure all the centers are lined up. And then just keep messing around with it. I wish I could give better detail on how to go about solving it, but that's really all I was doing, just messing around with it, seeing where things fit. So, after you get through the mess that is the jumbling, we will now continue on to the corners. Now, there's actually a good chance that you already have some steps solved. So there's a good chance that you might already have the corners, in the correct spot or rotated correctly already. So again, these puzzles, they're very limited with their scramble, and yet they can still be quite challenging. So we'll set this one aside for now and just go to the mass produce puzzle. So again, the first step, if it's not already solved, is to get the corners in their correct position. So I do need to swap these corners. And so I'll do the algorithm. Again, you hold it like this, the corner in this position and this position. And you go U prime, R, U, and then cube rotation like that. And then R, U, R, U. Okay, so now the corners are in their correct spot. So we'll come over to the edge of insanity, and I also need to swap these corners. So you hold it in this position. So this is your U move, R, and L, like this. So you go U prime, R, U, and I gotta keep my bearings straight, so it's like this, I believe. R, U, come on, let's do it this way, R, U. Okay, there you go. Cube rotations on this puzzle can actually be quite confusing. It's not immediately obvious which way is up, so it can be quite challenging. Okay, so we have the corners in the correct position now. Next, we are going to solve all of these small edges. So again, You hold it like this, or you have one of the small edges up at the top. And this one comes here, this one here, and this one here. So we look around to see if we can get a good swap. See, orange and green is going to come up here and be solved. So that's U prime R, U L prime, U prime, R prime, U L. Okay, so that's solved. We're just looking around. Let's see. Okay, so red and yellow can come up here. Just do that real quick. Okay. So as we're nearing the end, sometimes you might need to, if one's already solved, you might need to unsolve it just so you can put some pieces in better position. So keep that in mind. It might not always cleanly work every single time. So I see green and white can come here. Oops. So I don't know what the orientation of this was. I don't know if it's just my puzzle, but the center caps do come off quite easily. I don't know if that's just every single Insanity cube, all of them are like that, but mine come apart pretty frequently. But you can easily just glue them down, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, and then I think these are the last three. I just need to do it twice, and they'll be good to go. Okay, I want some more, and I believe that will be good. Okay, and those are the small edges. So again, sometimes it doesn't work out super cleanly all the time. So we'll just move on to the edge of insanity. So the small edges are these smaller triangles. So you would hold it like this. So this is the one up top. This is your U move, R, and L. So let's see. So green can come up here. So we do there we go. Oh, and I got orange solved. Didn't even notice that. And then write the final theory again. Solving this one is actually quite confusing, and it's all due to orientation of the puzzle. Like, you hold the puzzle in a very weird position. Like, I'm doing the algorithm like this. Normally you might think you would solve it holding it in this position, but it's not the case with this puzzle. So yeah, orientation is very confusing. Okay, so those are the small edges. Next up, we are going to rotate the corners. Now again, I might have a corner twisted because I had that pop. So the corner rotation algorithm, you hold it like this. The corner's in this position, in this position. And you go U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. Okay? So we're just going to keep doing that until everything gets solved, except for the long edges. So just keep doing that algorithm. Come on. U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. Okay, so that would have solved it, but I did have that corner twist. So sometimes the worst position for it to be in, you don't have to do that algorithm too many times, maybe like 4 or 5 times, maybe 6. I'm not entirely sure on the math behind that, but you never have to do it a whole bunch of times. So that's good to know. Okay, so now for the edge of insanity. Okay, so we have the small corners that need to be rotated. We hold it like this, and we go U prime, R, U prime. Yeah, let me just make sure I did that right. Okay. Okay, yeah. So U prime, R, U prime. Okay, I did one too many U's. And then we go R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime. Okay, let's do it again. U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R, or whatever that is. Okay, so this one only took 2 again. Okay, so now we're on to the final step, which are the long edges. So again, let's see if we can, if we're one step away, and I think we might be. So this one comes up here, and it might, no. this one comes back here. This one here. Okay, so I think we're 2 steps away, actually. Wait. So this one comes back here. It might be flipped. Yellow and green comes up here. It might be flipped. Okay, so we're 1 step away, but we might get flipped edges. So hold up with this one right here. And it comes back here. And the algorithm goes as such. R U R prime, so that one's solved. And then we do a cube rotation. So the piece was right here and now it's right here. So we hold it like this now. And then R U R prime U R U prime R prime U R, and it's solved. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Now we'll finish it off with the edge of insanity. So we hold it like this. So this one comes back here, this one to here, and this one to here. So let's see. So yes. Okay, so we'll hold it like this, and this will get them in the correct spot, but we'll see if we have a flipped edge. U prime R, no, that's not right. Okay, it goes R, U prime R, and we do have a flipped edge. So the edge is right here, so it goes to right here. Do a small r, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, and R prime. Okay, so now we have 2 edges that are flipped. So how we get out of this is we'll do it once. Well, okay, so we're going to do it like this, where we track this piece, the red, white, green, orange. So it's going to come over here, and then once it's over here, we're going to put it back into the position, back into its solid states. So if we do the algorithm once, R, U, R prime, R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, R prime. Okay, so it's right here now. We started in this position. So now we need to get this piece back into its solid position. So let's orient ourselves. This one needs to go here, so we can hold it like this. This one comes down here. R, U prime, R prime, and as you can see, it's now solved. R, U, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, U, R prime, and it's solved. Okay, so that is the walkthrough of the Insanity Cube and the Edge of Insanity. I hope that helped. Again, a lot of this puzzle it really comes down to just memorizing the algorithms or just learning them. The first part, the unjumbling, the shape-shifted part, again, that's really all just intuition. I don't really have a good method or strategy. It's just kind of mess around with it, like I said before. So I wish I could give more insight on that, but you really just mess around with it. Then once you get that, just follow the algorithms and those steps, and you should be good to go. So I hope this helped. Thank you for watching.